Hello and welcome to the February 2021 edition of Bridge to India's policy and regulatory update on India's renewable power sector. In this recap, we highlight important updates from central and state agencies as well as regulators. Let's begin with updates from the central government. Ministry of Finance increased customs duty on solar inverters. In the budget announcement for financial year 2022, Ministry of Finance announced an increase in customs duty on solar inverters from 5% to 20% with effect from 1st April 2021. The ministry also removed all custom duty exemptions available to machinery and components imported for setting up solar power projects. The finance bill is yet to be approved in Parliament, but in the meantime, MNRE has stopped issuing concessional customs duty certificates for these components to developers from 2nd February 2021 onwards. Customs duty hike on inverters will have minimal impact on overall project economics as inverters account for only 2% of project cost. However, the increase will still hurt project developers amidst rising module and BOS prices. Developers are also likely to invoke change in law clause for the increase in customs duty, which may create yet more procedural hurdles for them. CERC has approved procedure for granting ISTS connectivity to renewable power projects. The amended procedure would be applicable to projects with over 50 megawatt capacity and renewable energy park developers. The Commission has linked completion deadline of power evacuation system with project scheduled commissioning date. Developers would be able to seek Stage 2 connectivity based on letter of award or PPA. Hybrid project developers would be able to seek connectivity for multiple locations using the same LOA or PPA. Value of bank guarantee has now been linked with bay capacity instead of project capacity. Bank guarantee would be reduced by up to 90% if the developers construct the bay themselves. All bank guarantees will be returned within 30 days of completion of generation project. The new procedure brings much needed flexibility and clarity to ISTS connectivity process. Extension in project SCOD and therefore transmission system would save developers from unnecessary hassles and penalties. Developers with large projects would benefit the most from uniform and bay capacity linked bank guarantees. MNRE has refused to provide further extension of commissioning deadlines on account of COVID. MNRE has rejected a plea by project developers to extend commissioning deadlines for renewable power projects. The developers sought extensions beyond the 5-month automatic extension granted in August 2020 on account of COVID-induced disruptions. MNRE has said that any further extension would be issued on individual project basis after necessary due diligence by respective procurement agencies. Filing individual project pleas would make life of project developers very difficult. Recently in Maharashtra, Avada Energy sought repeated extensions for signing PPA with State Discom, who doesn't seem favorably inclined. Ministry of Power has proposed delicensing of Discoms. Ministry of Power has proposed to throw open the power distribution business by delicensing it. According to the Electricity Act Amendment Bill 2021, tabled by the Ministry of Power, incumbent distribution companies would be required to share existing PPAs as well as distribution network with new distribution companies. The Ministry of Power has excluded several controversial proposals in the new bill of 2021. For example, privatization of discoms, direct payment of tariff subsidies, separation of content from carriage, and setting up a new contract enforcement authority. But we still expect significant opposition from state governments and discoms, fearing loss of customers and revenue. Successful implementation of these proposals would depend on political will and design of regulatory mechanisms. CERC has proposed 7 indices for determination of escalation factors in prices of domestic and imported coal and gas and their transportation costs. These indices would be used in evaluation of tariff bids submitted by project developers under RTC renewable power auctions. CERC has approved introduction of market coupling operator and new market instruments. CERC has approved a common regulation for all power market contracts. The regulation introduces a market coupling operator to discover uniform prices across power exchanges. The Commission has also approved introduction of capacity as well as ancillary services contracts without spelling out their features or specifications. The new regulation has no immediate impact as the Commission has not specified any date for operationalization of the market coupling operator. The next step would involve power exchanges submitting proposals to CERC for operationalization of new instruments. Now let us have a look at updates from states. APTEL has reversed a decision by Tamil Nadu regulator on applicability of open access and banking provisions for wind power projects. The Appellate Tribunal of Electricity has overturned Tamil Nadu Electricity Regulatory Commission's earlier order on open access charges, banking and generic tariff of wind power projects. In a 2018 order, TNERC had withdrawn banking facility for projects under third-party sale model and all projects commissioned after 31st March 2018. It had reduced exemption on cross-subsidy surcharge from 50% to 40% and on transmission and wheeling charges from 60% to 50%. It had also determined generic tariff of wind power projects as 2.80 rupees per kilowatt hour. APTEL has overturned these decisions, calling them arbitrary and unjustifiable for not conducting scientific data analysis of costs involved for all stakeholders. Open access charges and exemptions would now be applicable in the state as per TNERC's 2016 order. Though beneficial for open access wind power projects, such frequent and abrupt policy changes are detrimental for the renewable power sector. Restricting banking facility in Tamil Nadu was advocated by TANGEDCO, which, like several other DISCOMs, has been pushing the state regulator to reduce incentives for open access projects. Karnataka has proposed limit on net metering provisions for rooftop solar power systems. Karnataka Electricity Regulatory Commission has proposed to limit net metering facility to rooftop solar power systems of up to 10 kW capacity. All systems with capacities greater than 10 kW would be eligible for gross metering benefits only. The Commission has proposed a tariff of 3.82 rupees per kilowatt hour for sale of surplus power from rooftop solar power systems owned by domestic customers up to 10 kW capacity. Proposed tariff for all other customers is 2.84 rupees per kilowatt hour. Karnataka's proposal to limit net metering benefits to systems of up to 10 kW is in line with Ministry of Power's guidelines issued in December 2020. After West Bengal, Karnataka has become the second state to adopt Ministry of Power's guidelines on net metering restrictions. We believe such changes will severely impact growth across customer categories. Alarmingly, 7 major states have already partially or wholly withdrawn net metering for CNI consumers, and many more have imposed restrictions on banking. West Bengal has proposed generic tariff for solar power projects up to 5 MW capacity. West Bengal Electricity Regulatory Commission has proposed tariffs between 3.07 and 3.94 rupees per kilowatt hour for rooftop solar power systems of less than 1 MW capacity. Tariff for ground mounted projects between 1 and 5 MW would be 3 rupees per kilowatt hour. Tariff for larger projects would be determined through competitive auctions. Maharashtra has set 17.3 GW renewable energy target for 2025. The government of Maharashtra has set a target to install 12.5 GW of solar power, 2.5 GW of wind power, and 2.3 GW of other renewable energy capacity by 2025. Solar power capacity addition target is further split as 10 GW ground mounted, 2 GW rooftop, 530 MW agricultural, 100 MW solar wind hybrid projects, and 300 MW under other categories. Maharashtra's Renewable Energy Policy 2015 had set a target to add 7.5 GW solar power capacity by 2020. Targets set under this policy are overly ambitious. We estimate the current solar power capacity in the state to be 2.7 GW with another 2.9 GW in pipeline. The state has witnessed a a slowdown in annual capacity addition in the past 5 years. Madhya Pradesh has adopted tariff for solar power systems under Kusum Component A. Madhya Pradesh Electricity Regulatory Commission has adopted 3.07 rupees per kilowatt hour as ceiling tariff for solar power systems auctioned under Component A of Kusum scheme. That concludes summary of key policies and regulatory orders passed in February 2021. We hope you found this update useful. You can view all policy and regulatory information and much more information on the renewable sector in real time at India RE Navigator. You can also write to us at contact@bridge2india.com if you have a query or feedback. We would love to hear from you. We will be back with our next policy video next month. Until then, goodbye and take care.